What if I told you that your financial future is decided in the first 48 hours after you get paid? Not by how much you earn, not by promotions, not by side hustles, but by the very first decisions you make when that paycheck hits your account. Most people think money problems come from low income, but the truth is far more uncomfortable. The paycheck comes in and silently disappears, leaving stress, confusion, and the same cycle every single month. Today, we're going to break that cycle, because if you learn what to do with your paycheck in the first 48 hours, money will finally start working for you instead of controlling you. The moment your paycheck arrives, you enter what I call the financial danger zone. The first 48 hours where emotions are high and logic is low. You feel relief because bills can be paid, excitement because you deserve something after a hard month, and confidence because money is finally sitting in your account. This emotional cocktail is exactly why most people stay broke, even on decent salaries. They don't lose money over months or years. They lose it in hours. Ordering food without thinking, upgrading subscriptions, impulse shopping, or mentally spending money that hasn't even left the account yet. The paycheck becomes a permission slip to relax, not a tool to build stability. Here's the harsh truth. If you don't give your paycheck a job immediately, it will find one on its own. And usually that job benefits everyone except you. Companies understand this psychology perfectly. Sales, discounts, limited time offers, and lifestyle upgrades are all timed around pay cycles. They know people feel richest right after payday, even though that's when they're most vulnerable. This is why two people earning the same income can live completely different financial lives. One is always stressed, the other feels calm and in control. The difference isn't discipline over the entire month, it's control in the first 48 hours. Inside ledger principle number 1, money clarity beats money motivation. You don't need willpower, you need structure. The first thing you should do when your paycheck arrives is pause. Not spend, not celebrate. Pause and acknowledge one simple fact. This money has to last longer than your emotions. Until you intentionally assign it, your paycheck is not income. It's potential. And potential wasted is the most expensive thing in personal finance. The first 48 hours decide whether this paycheck will reduce stress or quietly add to it. Most people manage money in the wrong order. They pay bills, then spend, then save if something is left. This order guarantees failure. The correct order is less exciting but far more powerful. Protect, plan, then spend. In the first 48 hours, your paycheck should be divided intentionally, not perfectly, but deliberately. Step 1 is protection. Before entertainment, before lifestyle, before wants, you must secure your non-negotiables. This means rent, utilities, minimum debt payments, groceries, anything that keeps your life stable. Stability is not boring. Instability is expensive. Step 2 is planning. This is where most people completely skip the process. Planning doesn't mean budgeting every rupee or dollar. It means deciding what this paycheck is meant to do. Is it covering a tight month? Is it helping you catch up? Is it funding a future goal? Even a simple written plan creates psychological ownership over your money. When you know where your money's going, random spending feels less tempting because it now competes with something meaningful. Inside ledger insight. Money behaves better when it has a destination. Step 3, and only then, comes spending. This is where guilt-free spending lives. When protection and planning are done first, spending no longer creates anxiety. You're not asking, can I afford this? You already answered that question in the first 48 hours. This structure removes the constant mental exhaustion people feel about money. Instead of checking your balance 10 times a day, you trust the system you set up. This is how financial confidence is built, not through earning more, but through managing better. One of the simplest yet most powerful systems you can set up in the first 48 hours is the 3 accounts rule. You don't need advanced apps, spreadsheets, or financial degrees, just separation. The first account is your survival account. This is where all fixed expenses live. Once money goes here, it's emotionally untouchable. You don't check it for fun, and you definitely don't borrow from it. This account gives you peace of mind because it protects your basics automatically. The second account is your future account. This is where saving, investing, or debt reduction happens. Even if it's a small amount, This account is non-negotiable. Why? Because saving what's left over never works. Future wealth is built by prioritizing tomorrow before today. Inside Ledger Truth, your future self is always the most underpaid person in your life. This account changes that. It turns saving into a habit, not a struggle. The third account is your living account. This is the money you actually use: food, transport, entertainment, lifestyle. Here's the psychological magic. Because this account has limits, spending becomes intentional. When it's empty, you stop. Not because you're broke, but because you planned it that way. This system removes shame from spending and replaces it with awareness. You're no longer guessing, you're deciding. Setting this up in the first 48 hours transforms how you experience money for the entire month. Instead of reacting to expenses, you anticipate them. Instead of hoping things work out, you know they will. This is how ordinary income starts producing extraordinary calm. Not overnight wealth, real control. The ultimate goal of mastering your paycheck is not restriction, it's freedom. When you control the first 48 hours, you control the narrative of your financial life. Money stops being something that happens to you and becomes something you direct. Over time, this creates momentum. One good paycheck decision leads to another. Stress reduces, confidence increases. Opportunities feel less scary because you're no longer financially fragile. Most people wait for a big moment to change their finances. A raise, a new job, a side hustle. But transformation doesn't start with more money. It starts with better decisions. The paycheck you already have is enough to begin. Inside Ledger philosophy is simple. Small systems beat big intentions. You don't need perfection. You need consistency in the first 48 hours, every time you get paid. Imagine reaching a point where payday no longer excites you emotionally because it empowers you strategically, where money doesn't disappear mysteriously, where your future feels funded, not hoped for. That version of you is not richer because they earn more. They're richer because they manage better. And it all begins with what you do when that paycheck hits. If this video helped you see your paycheck differently, then you're already ahead of most people. Remember, wealth isn't built at the end of the month. It's built in the first 48 hours. Try this system with your very next paycheck and notice how different the month feels. Comment below, what's the hardest part for you after getting paid? Spending, saving, or planning? And if you want more real, practical money insights like this, subscribe to Inside Ledger. Because money makes more sense when you understand what's really happening behind the numbers.